but their car radio suddenly gets hacked, and Hee-ju realizes that this is a warning to her. She feels like throwing up, so the cops stop the car, but as she gets outside, she starts crying, realizing that she is in deep trouble now. Her life has never been easy, and she had no ally. Suddenly, a car comes there escorted by police motorbikes, and Se-yeon comes out of it. The cops with Hee-ju wonder what is happening, and she is also confused about what he is doing here. Se-yeon thanks the cops for their work and says that he will take Hee-ju with her now. They ask him how she is related to him, and Se-yeon lifts Hee-ju up before telling them that she is his wife, shocking her. He helps her in the car and then tells the cops that he will come to make a report later and requests they keep his private details a secret till then. Once he gets back in the car, he tells Hee-ju that her father's nurse has his number as the emergency contact, so she called him when he went missing. He is certain that the kidnapper was behind it, and he tells Hee-ju that he will move her father to a more secure nursing home so she doesn't have to worry about it. Hee-ju suddenly starts crying loudly, and Se-yeon is surprised that she can make noises. He gives her his hanky and asks her to cry her heart out, which she does. After that, Se-yeon takes Hee-ju to an expensive hotel, and she doesn't understand why they didn't go home. He takes her to a room and tells her to freshen up while he calls the room service. Once Hee-ju returns, Se-yeon tells her that he wants to have a proper conversation with her and not an interrogation. He says that at the rate things are going, he will have to seek police help against the kidnapper, but since she is also involved, the police will investigate her too. He asks her to reveal if she is hiding something before that, but she doesn't say anything. Se-yeon is sure that she is hiding something, but he decides against pressuring her. Just then, the room service comes there with the food he ordered. Se-yeon tells Hee-ju to eat, and then come down to attend a dinner with his family that won't be easy for her. He then goes to the private suite where his parents are having dinner. His dad tells him to call Hee-ju too, but he says that she is sick and asks him to get to the point because he doesn't have too much time. His father asks him to promote his election campaign even though he is a government employee, but Se-yeon has no interest in that. Suddenly, Hee-ju comes there and apologizes for being late. Se-yeon's father begins insulting her, saying that the chairman of the Chungwon news group tricked them by sending his faulty daughter to their family, who can't even earn her keep. Se-yeon gets furious at this and starts leaving, but his father tells him to stop. Suddenly, Se-yeon asks one of his guards to take the camera from the paparazzi, who was clicking his family's pictures because his father wanted to use them to create rumors about him joining his election campaign. Se-yeon tells his dad that he is not going to play his games and be his tool, which makes the man angry. He throws a glass at him, and Se-yeon instinctively moves to shield Hee-ju from it. His father comes to threaten that he can ruin his career, but Se-yeon tells him to look at his career first, because he had to rely on his father first and now on his son to become successful. Seeing the rage on his father's face, Se-yeon even starts suspecting him of being behind the kidnapper so that he can manipulate him. He tells his father that he is done and then leaves the room with Hee-ju. Once in the elevator, he holds her hand tightly, telling her to not think anything of his parents' words because they are not even worth respecting. Once they reach their home, Se-yeon gets a call from Jae, so he sends Hee-ju back in, who has a breakdown as she thinks about the kidnapper's warning. She decides to throw away the modified phone as trash, but Se-yeon meets her on the way and decides to throw it himself. They start playing a game of tug-of-war, but then Hee-ju gets a call, so she runs to the house. It is her sign language instructor and other colleagues who are wishing her all the best for the interview. Hee-ju thanks them, and then Se-yeon comes there, saying that she doesn't need luck because she will get the job through her skills. Hee-ju asks him what will happen once their families find out, and he tells her to stop living like their servant and do what she wants. In return, she tells him to be ready for the aftermath if she gets a job next to him. The next day, as Se-yeon goes to his office, Jae tells him that they are making some progress with the voice modulator. Also, he has found some new information about Sang-woo, including how he makes a lot of videos about arson and crimes involving explosives, and the fact that he is working as a crime reporter nowadays. Later, it is time for Hee-ju's interview for the job in the presidential office, and the interviewers play one of Se-yeon's old clips to test her skill. However, she has memorized all his interviews, and she interprets them perfectly. He was seeing this from his office, so he decided to go there personally to interview her.